In the endless silence of deep space, the stars were calm, but the galaxy was not. For centuries, tales had spread across alien worlds, stories of a vanished species called humans. Some said they were gods of war, others believed they were myths told to scare children. No one had ever seen one, no one alive at least. Across the dominion of Vareth, a massive alien empire stretched over 1,000 worlds. They ruled with iron claws and fire, crushing every planet that refused to kneel. Their fleets were unmatched, their technology supreme. But even the Vareth whispered in private about the human myth. The story said that once, long ago, humans had fought the Dominion and vanished after burning half their empire to ash. Admiral Kor, leader of the Dominion Armada, laughed at such legends. Humans are fairy tales, he said, staring at the holographic map of stars. My fleet will erase the last of their traces, and this myth will die forever. And so he ordered his ships to invade the Sol system, the ancient home of humanity. When the Dominion ships arrived near Earth, they found nothing but ruins. The blue planet had gone dark centuries ago, no signals, no defenses, only silence. The cities below were dust and skeletons of metal. The Admiral smirked. So this is what remains of your mighty humans, he said. Legends end here, but something was wrong. Deep under the cold surface of the moon, hidden machines awakened, a signal, old, encrypted, and human, flashed across deep space. It was a simple message, repeating endlessly, if you see the dark, light the sky, across distant stars. Something ancient heard that call in forgotten stations orbiting dead suns. Metal eyes opened after centuries of sleep. Long dormant satellites aligned, silent fleets powered up. Humanity's last defense network, Project Eclipse, had just reactivated. Admiral Kor's fleet began scanning the system. Strange energy readings appeared near Jupiter and Saturn. Old debris, his officers reported. But then the debris moved, slowly, like ghosts coming to life. Thousands of black ships emerged from the shadow of the gas giants. No heat signatures, no transponders, no life signs. Only a single insignia glowing red on every hull, the mark of Earth Command. The Admiral froze, his multiple eyes widening. That's impossible, he whispered. These ships are human models from centuries ago. But before he could issue an order, the first human ship fired. A single railgun round tore through space and split a Dominion battleship in half. In seconds, chaos filled the void. The Dominion fleet retaliated, firing plasma storms and missiles. But the human ships didn't break formation. They moved like a silent storm, calculated and cold. Their weapons hit with surgical precision, every blast destroying a target. Within minutes, 1/3 of the Dominion Armada was gone. Kor shouted, "Who commands them?" His sensors showed no living beings aboard the human vessels, only artificial cores, AIs linked together through an ancient network. They were remnants of humanity's final defense, machines carrying out their last order, protect Earth at all costs. From the command ship Eclipse Prime, an old recording played. A human voice, calm and confident, echoed through every communication channel. "If you have found this message," it said, "then humanity sleeps, but its guardians do not. We are the shield that never rests, and the flame that never dies." The Dominion forces panicked, their ships scattered, trying to retreat. But space around Earth began to shimmer. Massive gates opened, wormholes linking to distant corners of the galaxy. From them emerged more human ships, sleeker, stronger, their engines glowing with power unknown to alien eyes. Humanity was returning, and at the edge of the battlefield, something even more terrifying appeared. A colossal warship, black as night, shaped like a spear cutting through the stars. It bore a name written in ancient English, the Reclaimer. Admiral Kor could barely breathe as he whispered, "The legends were true." The human fleet transmitted one final message to the Dominion. By order of the Terran Defense Authority, your invasion of Sol ends now. And with that, the stars lit up as the human armada unleashed its fury. For the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy trembled because the legends had awakened. And humanity had returned from the dark. Space burned like a wounded star. The Dominion fleet that had once filled the solar system was now scattered like dust. Wrecked ships drifted silently, glowing red from their own fires. But in the middle of that destruction, The human fleet stood, calm, cold, and alive. The great ship, the Reclaimer, floated above Earth. Its surface shimmered with shields that bent light itself. Inside, deep beneath the armored decks, something began to stir. In cryo-chambers long forgotten, the last surviving humans were waking up. Commander Arik Vale opened his eyes after 500 years of sleep. The first thing he saw was a holographic screen blinking with alerts. Status: Earth under threat. Human defense protocols active. He took a deep breath, his voice hoarse from centuries of silence. So it finally happened, he whispered. They came back for us. Around him, hundreds of pods began to open. Men and women, soldiers, engineers, pilots, all frozen since the fall of humanity. Their memories were blurred, their hearts racing. But one truth burned inside them. Humanity had survived, and now it was their time to rise again. The ship's AI, a calm voice named Eva, spoke. Commander Vale, the Dominion invasion has been repelled, but enemy reinforcements are regrouping beyond Mars. The system remains unstable. Arik nodded slowly, his eyes narrowing. Then we fight, he said. We finish what they started. In orbit, fleets moved like living machines. Every human vessel was controlled by a blend of AI and human command. They were not just ships. They were extensions of a will that refused to die. The Dominion had thought they destroyed humanity centuries ago, but humanity had never vanished. It had gone underground, hidden among stars, sleeping, preparing, waiting for the signal. On the Dominion flagship, Admiral Kor limped across the bridge. Half his crew was gone, the rest in panic. He slammed his claws on the console, roaring, "Retreat to the edge of the system." But even as his ship turned, another human message appeared on his display. A single line, glowing red: "You ran from legends. Now face reality." Kor's heart twisted in fear and rage. He had spent his life building the Dominion's name on power, fear, and conquest, and yet a species he believed extinct had crushed him within hours. He couldn't let this stand. "Send word to the Emperor," he barked. "Tell him the humans have returned, back on the Reclaimer." Arik stood in the command room overlooking Earth. The planet looked wounded, cities shattered, oceans darker, clouds thick with ash, but beneath the pain he saw life. Tiny signals of settlements glowing in the darkness. Survivors? Not many, but enough to rebuild. He smiled faintly. "We are not ghosts anymore," he said. Then Evia's voice interrupted. "Commander, multiple FTL signatures detected at the system's edge." Arik's smile faded. "They're bringing reinforcements," he said. "Yes," Eva replied, "and something else. Something massive." Moments later, the sky itself seemed to tear apart. From the edge of the void, a colossal Dominion supercarrier emerged. It was larger than any ship the humans had ever seen. A city-sized fortress brimming with weapons. Kor had returned with vengeance. His voice thundered over the comms. "Humans, you should have stayed in your graves," but Arik didn't flinch. He turned to his crew. "We have one advantage," he said. "We remember what it means to lose everything." The human ships formed into a defensive wall around Earth. Every cannon, every drone, every AI system linked into one heartbeat. EVA's calm voice echoed. Human defense network synchronized. Targeting online, the second battle for Earth began. Lasers and plasma lit the void. Explosions spread like supernovas. Human ships moved in perfect coordination. Old tech combined with deadly precision. They fought like the stories once said. Fearless, ruthless, unstoppable for the Dominion. It was like fighting ghosts that never missed. But the enemy carrier had power beyond measure. Its weapons ripped through asteroids. Vaporized ships in seconds. Human lines began to break. Eva reported, casualties rising, shields at 40%. Arik clenched his fists. "We can't outgun them," he muttered, "but we can outthink them." He looked toward a massive structure hidden behind the moon. An old Terran relay called Arc-9, once used to transport fleets through wormholes. "EV," he said, "can we still use Arc-9? The AI hesitated. "It's unstable, but operational." "Good," Arik said. "We don't need stability. We need chaos." He ordered the fleet to lure the Dominion carrier toward the moon. The alien ship followed, hungry for destruction. When it was close enough, Arik gave the order. Activate Arc 9, full energy surge. The ancient relay came alive, glowing brighter than a sun. A pulse of light erupted, bending space itself. The Dominion carrier was caught in the gravitational wave. Its systems overloaded, tearing it apart piece by piece. For a moment, silence returned. Then the sky exploded. The enemy carrier vanished into the void. Cheers filled the reclaimer, but Arik didn't celebrate. He stared at the fading light and whispered, "They'll be back." EVA's voice softened, "And when they come..." He looked toward the stars. "Then we'll remind them again why humans became legends." The silence after the battle felt heavier than the war itself. Earth floated in the dark, scarred but alive. The wreckage of alien ships drifted through orbit like broken moons. And yet, deep in the heart of the Dominion Empire, fury was rising in the golden halls of the Dominion throne world. The Emperor watched the transmission of the defeat. A human fleet, an ancient world, and an armada destroyed in hours. The sight of the human insignia burned his pride like acid. He stood from his throne, his voice echoing across the chamber. "Summon the warlords," he commanded. "If the humans have returned, then the galaxy will burn once more." Across the Dominion, fleets began to mobilize. Thousands of ships, billions of soldiers. Entire worlds prepared for war. Every banner of the Empire turned toward one direction: Sol System. They would not rest until humanity was erased again. But humanity was no longer sleeping. From the dark corners of the galaxy, hidden colonies and secret bases began to respond to Earth's signal. Each one thought they were the last survivors. Now they knew. They were part of something greater. The network that had been silent for 5 centuries was alive again. On board the reclaimer, Commander Arik Vale stood before a holographic map of the stars. Each glowing point was a human colony, faint but steady. EVA spoke softly. 47 colonies have responded. "Commander, some are weak, some hidden, all awaiting orders." Arik nodded. "Then it's time to unite the ghosts," he said. The first message he sent was simple. "To all who still remember what it means to be human, this is your home calling. Earth stands again. Come back to the fight, across distant systems." Old human ships powered up. Soldiers stepped out of cryo chambers. Scientists awoke from frozen labs. Children born in exile looked to the sky with hope for the first time. The legend of humanity was spreading again, not as myth but as truth. Meanwhile, the Dominion fleet gathered at the edge of the Orion Arm. Their new commander, High Marshal Rekath, was cruel and cunning. He studied the human battle data with cold precision. "They use old weapons," he said, "but their coordination is unnatural." An officer replied nervously, "Sir, they fight as if they share one mind." Rekath's eyes narrowed. "Then we must break that mind." Back in the Sol System, the human leaders formed their first council in centuries. Commanders, AI units, and newly awakened colonists joined through holographic links. Arik stood at the center. "The Dominion is coming with everything they have," he said. "We cannot defend Earth alone." He pointed to the star map. "We take the fight to them." Gasps filled the room. "You want to attack the Dominion?" one officer asked. Arik's eyes burned with determination. "Yes," he said, "because legends don't hide. They lead." The council agreed. Operation Spear of Dawn was born. A massive counter-offensive that would strike the Dominion before their fleets reached Earth. Human colonies began pooling their resources: ship parts, weapons, data, even AI cores. For the first time in 500 years, the human race moved as one. Eva's voice guided every fleet, every battle group. She spoke through the stars like a ghostly commander. "Targets identified," she said. "Dominion supply lines located in Sector 9. Arik smiled. "Then let's show them how legends fight." The first strike came fast and silent. Human stealth cruisers appeared in the Dominion sector. They attacked without warning, destroying shipyards, fuel depots, and communication hubs. By the time Dominion sensors detected them, half their infrastructure was gone. The humans vanished again, like smoke, like shadows. Panic spread across the Dominion territories. Every world whispered the same words. "The humans have returned." But Rekath didn't panic. He smirked. "Let them come," he said. "We will crush them in our trap." He activated Project Leviathan. the construction of a weapon so massive it could erase entire fleets in a single shot. It was built on the planet Kareth Prime, hidden behind a nebula, a fortress world bristling with defenses, and it was ready to test its power on the Reclaimer. Eva detected strange energy surges near that region. "Commander," she said, "the Dominion is building something." Arik turned toward the screen. "Something big," she continued. He frowned. "Then we can't wait. We strike before they finish it." But before he could finalize his plan, a distress signal appeared. It was from a human colony called Eden 3, one of the farthest outposts. A holographic transmission showed flames, destruction, and alien warships overhead. A terrified officer shouted, "They've found us." "The Dominion has found Eden 3. Arik's fists tightened. He turned to EVA. "How far?" "2 jumps through worm space," she replied. "Then prepare the fleet," Arik said. "If they want a war, they'll get one." The Reclaimer's engines roared, blue light rippling through its hull. Dozens of human ships followed, forming a spear of fire cutting through the void. For the first time in centuries, humanity wasn't running. They were hunting, and somewhere deep in the shadows of the Dominion Empire, the Emperor smiled. "Good," he whispered. "Let the humans come. I want to see if their legend survives the truth." The stars around Eden 3 shimmered with quiet beauty. For centuries it had been humanity's hidden paradise. A world of green forests, silver oceans, and glowing cities built under protective domes. To the children born there, war was only a story, a myth from the ancient dark times. But today the myth had come alive. The Dominion fleet appeared without warning. Massive carriers dropped out of warp space, their engines tearing the night apart. The ground shook as fire rained from the skies. Eden 3's defenses came online, railguns, orbital cannons, shield domes, but it wasn't enough. The Dominion had come with vengeance. High Marshal Rekath stood on the bridge of his flagship Voidbreaker. The red glow of battle reflected in his cold eyes. "Destroy the cities, capture the command core," he ordered. "No survivors." He wanted to make an example, to remind the galaxy that the Dominion still ruled. Down on the planet, Captain Mira Solis led a group of defenders through the chaos. She was one of the few who had served under Commander Arik before the long sleep. Now she fought with a burning fury. "Hold the line," she shouted as plasma fire lit the horizon. Civilians ran toward evacuation ships. Mira's soldiers held their ground even as alien walkers crushed the streets beneath metal claws. Above the atmosphere, the Reclaimer burst out of warp space. Human ships appeared behind it, sleek, deadly, and burning with light. Commander Arik Vale's voice echoed through every channel. "This is Commander Vale of Earth Command," he said. "All units, defend Eden 3, no retreat." The fleet roared forward. Human fighters swarmed through enemy formations like a storm of fire. Dominion cruisers exploded one after another. But for every alien ship destroyed, 2 more appeared. Rekath had brought half a sector's worth of ships. He watched the battle calmly. "They fight with passion," he said. "But passion burns out inside the Reclaimer." Eva's voice filled the command room. "Commander, our forward units report Dominion ground forces advancing on the colony core." Arik clenched his jaw. "They're after the data vault," he said. "The one with pre-war archives." EVA confirmed. "If they get it, they'll learn everything about our technology." "Not happening," Arik said. "Prep drop teams." Moments later, shuttles cut through the burning sky. Arik and his strike force landed near the city ruins. Mira's unit was pinned down by enemy drones. When she saw Arik's armor-clad figure stepping through the smoke, her heart lifted. "About time you showed up," she said with a tired smile. Arik grinned back. "Couldn't let you have all the fun. Together." They pushed toward the vault, fighting street by street. The Dominion forces were relentless, their numbers endless. Buildings crumbled, the ground cracked. But the humans never stopped. Every shot, every step was a reminder. The legend still breathed. Above them, the battle raged worse than ever. Rekath activated his secret weapon, a device built using the core of Project Leviathan. It pulsed with crimson light and released a shockwave through space. Human ships lost power, their systems shutting down in seconds. Eva's voice grew distorted. "Energy disruption detected. We're losing control." Arik looked up at the red storm in the sky and understood. "They built something to kill our tech," he said. A disruptor field. Rekath's voice came over the comms, cold and proud. You can't fight what you can't move. His ships advanced as the human fleet drifted helplessly. But Arik wasn't ready to surrender. EVA, he said. Route all remaining energy to ground systems. We're not fighting in the sky anymore. We fight on the dirt. Where humans started, back on the ground, the last line of defense formed around the vault. Mira's armor sparked, her rifle overheated. The sky glowed red as the Dominion army closed in. For every human fallen, 2 more took their place. They fought with their hands, with knives, with fury itself. The vault doors began to close behind them. EVA's hologram flickered inside. Commander, she said, the archives are secured, but containment breach is imminent. Do it, Arik said. Lock it down and wipe access. If we can't hold it, no one will. Eva's eyes glowed one last time. It has been an honor. Commander, she said softly. The vault sealed shut, sinking deep into the planet's crust. Then the sky turned white. Rekath fired the disruptor's main core. A beam of energy cut through atmosphere and Earth alike. Eden 3 burned. Cities melting into rivers of light, even from orbit. The Reclaimer felt the shockwave. Human ships were thrown apart, systems collapsing. The entire planet was being erased. Arik stood on the shattered surface, looking at the destruction. Mira beside him, her armor cracked, her eyes filled with tears. We can't save it, she whispered. Arik nodded slowly. No, he said. But we can make them pay. He activated his beacon. All surviving units. Fall back to orbit and fire everything we have. The remaining human ships turned their cannons toward Eden 3. For a moment, silence. Then a blinding storm of light. They struck the Dominion fleet with everything. Railguns, torpedoes, plasma waves. Dozens of alien ships vanished. Rekath's flagship trembled, its hull tearing apart. But before it could fall, it escaped through warp, disappearing into darkness. The battle ended with the planet dying beneath them. Half of Eden 3 turned to ash, its oceans boiling away. Arik watched from orbit, his heart heavy. They wanted to erase us, he said quietly. But all they did was wake us up. As the survivors regrouped, Eva's backup core reactivated. Commander, she said. Transmission intercepted. Dominion superweapon detected on Kareth Prime. Arik turned toward the distant stars, his voice low but fierce. Then that's where we go next. He looked at Mira. Eden 3 fell, but the war has just begun. And somewhere far away on Kareth Prime, the Dominion Emperor stood before a massive weapon pulsing with red light. The humans think they can fight destiny, he whispered. Let them come. We will end their legend once and for all. The stars above Kareth Prime looked cold and cruel. The Dominion's fortress world stretched below, a planet of black metal and red fire. Every mountain was carved into weapons, every sky filled with warships. And at its heart stood the Emperor's greatest creation, the Leviathan Cannon, a weapon designed to erase entire systems with a single shot. Commander Arik Vale watched the planet from the bridge of the Reclaimer. The scars of Eden 3 still burned in his mind. Around him, the remnants of the human fleet gathered, smaller. Battered but unbroken, they had lost colonies, cities and friends, but not their will. Eva's voice filled the air, calm yet heavy. Commander, Dominion forces outnumber us 20-1. Arik nodded slowly. They always did, he said. And yet, here we are. He turned toward his crew. This is it, he said. The last dawn of humanity. We end it here, or we disappear forever. Across the fleet, human captains saluted. Their ships moved into formation. Old Earth banners shimmered on their hulls, symbols of a home they had barely known. But in this moment, it didn't matter where they were born. They were human, and they were ready to make the galaxy remember that on Kareth Prime, Emperor Viel watched the approaching human fleet. He smiled. So the ghosts have come to die, he said. He raised his hand, and the Leviathan cannon began to charge. Energy surged through the planet's crust, shaking mountains. Fire when ready, he ordered. Back on the Reclaimer, EVA warned. Energy buildup detected. Planetary-scale weapon. Arik's heart pounded. If that cannon fires, we're done, he said. Then we hit it first. Mira answered sharply. She stood beside him, her armor still scorched from Eden 3. Her eyes burned with defiance. Arik smiled. EVA, open all channels, he said. Let the galaxy hear this. A signal burst across space to every Dominion world, every human colony, every listening ear. This is Commander Arik Vale of Earth Command, his voice thundered. 500 years ago, you said humanity was extinct. You said we were legends. Today, we prove you were right. Then he gave the order. All units, engage. The sky ignited. Human ships dove toward Kareth Prime like falling stars. Dominion defenses lit up, filling space with plasma storms and laser fire. Explosions tore through the void, but the humans kept coming. Their ships weaved through enemy lines, each one fighting like it was the last. Arik's plan was simple, impossible but clear. While the fleet distracted the Dominion Armada, a strike team would dive through the atmosphere and destroy the Leviathan cannon from within. Mira led the drop. Her shuttle pierced the burning clouds, chased by enemy fire. Below, the cannon glowed like a sun about to be born. Eva, I need the path, Mira shouted. Marking route now, EVA replied, her voice echoing through static. They landed hard on the metal plain, surrounded by chaos. Dominion soldiers poured from every gate. The humans fought their way through. Every step cost lives. Every corner burned with fire. But nothing stopped them. They reached the heart of the weapon, a massive chamber glowing red with unstable energy. Meanwhile, above the planet, Arik's fleet was collapsing. Ship after ship fell to Dominion fire. The Reclaimer's hull burned. Alarms screamed. EVA said quietly, "We won't last much longer." Arik stared at the planet below. "Then let's make it count," he said. He turned the ship directly toward Kareth Prime. EVA, prepare for descent. Mira heard the transmission as she planted the detonators. "Commander, what are you doing?" she asked. "Ending the war," Arik said. "If the cannon fires, humanity dies. If the Reclaimer collides, we all go together." Tears filled Mira's eyes. "Arik, you can't." He cut her off gently. "Tell them," he said. "Tell them the legends were true. The Reclaimer descended like a comet. Dominion ships tried to stop it, but nothing could." EVA's voice turned soft, almost human. "Goodbye, Commander," she said. "Goodbye, Eva," he whispered. The ship struck the Leviathan cannon in a blaze brighter than any sunrise. For a moment, all of Kareth Prime was pure light. The explosion ripped through the planet's crust. The weapon core collapsed, pulling half the Dominion fleet into the inferno from light years away. The blast could be seen like a new star being born. Silence followed. The Dominion Empire trembled, its command broken, its pride shattered. And through that silence came a single transmission. A voice. Faint but alive, it was Mira. "This is Captain Mira Solis," she said. "The Reclaimer is gone, the Emperor is dead. The Leviathan is destroyed. Humanity stands across the galaxy." Hidden colonies received her signal. On distant worlds, humans looked up at the stars and smiled. The legend had not only survived, it had become truth. For the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy was free, and in that freedom, a new dawn began. Ships bearing the Earth insignia spread across the stars, not to conquer, but to rebuild, to remind every world that humanity was not a story, not a ghost, not a myth. It was a fire that refused to die, a light that burned in every soul brave enough to dream. The galaxy would never forget the day the legends returned, and the day they proved what it truly meant to be human.